What if I told you that there was a miracle plant? One that had over 25,000 uses, from rope to clothes to concrete to medicine. A plant that grew quick and tall, that dug its roots deep into the dirt and sequestered tons of carbon back into the soil while sucking up polluting metals back out of it. Could you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. It's been demonized for its association with its cousin, weed. That's right, this miracle plant is hemp. But in the US, it's barely grown. So why, if hemp can do such good, has it been so villainized in the eyes of Americans? This is the story of how the United States almost had a sustainable hemp-based society and then threw it all away. This video is sponsored by CuriosityStream, which now comes with Nebula for free when you sign up using the link in the description. Hemp, a non-psychoactive strain of the cannabis plant, seems like it can do everything. It's one of the fastest growing plants on the planet. It's able to sequester 15 tons of carbon dioxide into the soil per hectare and crowds out weeds to such an extent that very little herbicide is needed to grow it successfully. When implemented in a crop rotation, hemp can be a boon to farmers. Indeed, the Rodale Institute found in their hemp cover crop trials that yields of soybean and wheat increased in the next year while weed pressure dwindled. This might be in part due to the plant's ability to pull heavy metals like cadmium and lead out of the soil while aerating the subsoil with its root system, ultimately leaving a healthier soil for the next plant. In short, hemp's impact on the soil is minimal while also sequestering a massive amount of carbon in a very short period of time. But hemp's benefits don't end on the farm. As I mentioned earlier, according to the USDA, it has over 25,000 uses. Its seeds are nutrient dense and can be eaten raw or made into milk or oils. Its stalks can be used to make fiber that's stronger, more absorbent, more durable, and better insulating than cotton. And if clothing isn't what you need, then you can make hemp paper or even hemp concrete. That's right, concrete. When you mix the wooden refuse from the hemp fiber making process with a lime-based binder and water, you get a hardened substance similar to traditional concrete. As a result, a meter squared area of hempcrete can sequester up to 16 kilograms of CO2 equivalent over its life cycle. And all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are many more applications like insulation that can be made from hemp. So if hemp can fulfill so many needs, then why isn't it all over the place now? Back in 8000 BCE, Mesopotamians were weaving hemp cord into pottery. That's right, hemp was getting used as far back as 10,000 years ago. In fact, the plant is one of the first cultivated crops. In China, hemp has been continuously cultivated for over 6,000 years, with farmers first converting the crop into textiles and then later in 150 BCE into some of the first paper. And from the paper of the Magna Carta to the very sails that brought the violence of colonialism to the shores of North America, hemp has been part of history. In fact, the early days of the United States were marked by an intensive hemp economy. In 1535, King Henry VIII of England required farmers to sow at least a quarter acre of their land with hemp, because at the time, 80% of clothing was made from hemp. As a result, the American colonial project partly developed on the back of hemp. The first American colony in Jamestown, Virginia, mandated farmers grow hemp in 1619. And soon after, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and the Chesapeake Bay colonies all enacted similar laws. Hemp was even used as a form of currency in some colonies. George Washington farmed hemp, and so did Thomas Jefferson. In short, hemp was a cash crop in the American colonies. But there was a problem. Hemp required a significant amount of labor to harvest and process. This was solved at first by the violent use of forced labor of enslaved people. But as the cotton industry soon took off and the cotton gin made cotton that much quicker to process, hemp products slid into a decline. But the story doesn't end there. Hemp farms in Missouri and Kentucky continued to pump out fibers for sails and textiles throughout the 19th century and into the early 20th century. But it's here in the early years of the 20th century that we begin to see the last threads of the American hemp industry wither away. The American hemp industry was struggling in 1919. Steam engines were replacing hemp sails, cotton was overshadowing hemp clothes, and there was not yet an industrialized mechanism to keep up with the advances of logging and alternative textile industries. But that year, a promising development appeared on the horizon. A man named G.W. Schlichten took out a patent for a machine that would reduce the labor required to produce hemp by a factor of 100. Essentially, it was a hemp version of the cotton gin. Everything was ready for an American hemp boom. The tools were there, the crops were sown, and then because of stoked up racist anti-Mexican and anti-Chinese fears of weed, states like California and Texas outlawed recreational use of the drug. And as a result, hemp's association with its psychoactive cousin gave investors cold feet. So Schlichten wasn't able to take his plans to market. And soon after, hemp farming declined rapidly from 41,200 acres in 1917 to just 600 acres in 1929. America's hemp industry was at death's door. And the final nail in the coffin was the Reefer Madness propaganda campaign of the 1930s.
Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
The campaign was rumored to have been partially driven by newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst's fear of hemp overtaking traditional papermaking operations, as well as the fossil fuel chemical company DuPont's desire to crush any resurgence of hemp that would threaten to compete with their new plastic fiber invention, nylon. Reefer Madness ruthlessly villainized weed, and through association, hemp. Steeped in racism and fear-mongering, the campaign was largely a success in the eyes of its conservative creators, and by 1937, the Marijuana Tax Act was implemented, which placed a heavy tax on the sales of any cannabis product, including hemp products. The tax and the plant's stiff competition left hemp farmers withering. Except for a brief period in World War II where the US government spurred the growth of hemp to create military goods and uniforms.
Hemp for mooring ships, hemp for tow lines, hemp for victory.
By 1958, however, industrial hemp had all but gone extinct in the United States. But now, in 2021, a new hope is growing for the American hemp industry, one that could possibly point us towards a sustainable, plant-based future with a much smaller impact on the ground and the planet. After almost 70 years of lying dormant, the seeds of hemp are sprouting through American soils once again. As of October 2019, 46 states in the US are allowed to grow hemp for commercial purposes. Hemp was removed from its classification as a Schedule I drug and is now considered a commodity crop in the eyes of the federal government. Driven by a boom in CBD and hemp-based foods, over 148,000 acres of hemp were farmed in 2019. And the IMARC Research Group predicts that the hemp market will expand by 18% by 2026. This is promising, but in order to truly live up to its potential, the hemp industry not only needs to develop much more quickly, but also expand outside the realm of CBD. Hemp concrete, hemp fuel, hemp clothing, hemp insulation, and hemp paper could all potentially replace their current counterparts. But the question is, if hemp production is scaled up, will it actually be better than the current industrial agriculture practices, or will it just be another commodity crop like corn?
And I feel that that plant can help us undo the mess that we've made, but we have to approach it right. Because we will get nowhere if we continue with the same aggressive industrial behavior.
That's Winona LaDuke, co-founder of Honor the Earth, hemp activist, and member of the Ojibwe Nation. Here, she drills down into the heart of the matter when it comes to hemp cultivation. While hemp is certainly more sustainable than the fossil fuel-derived plastics or carbon-hungry concrete we currently use, an industrialized hemp system could very well throw us back into the same hole we've been trying to dig ourselves out of. If we carry over our same capitalist industrial agricultural systems into hemp farming, we're going to get a whole lot of CBD and tired soil. A transition into a hemp economy could, however, offer a pivot point, a point that moves from extractive monocultural farming to regenerative polycultural stewardship. This means using appropriate technologies, no-till methods, compost, and crop rotations among many other systems to not only sequester carbon, but heal the soil as well. And these sustainable methods are already being developed by people like Winona LaDuke, who helped establish the Tribal Hemp Initiative through the Anishinaabe Agricultural Institute. Up in northern Minnesota, LaDuke and many others are working to bring traditional hemp farming techniques in parallel with modern practices to create a thriving indigenous-led hemp industry. An industry that runs counter to a fossil fuel-thirsty industrial agriculture by demonstrating that a more ethical world is already possible. LaDuke is showing us just the tip of the iceberg, because if cultivated properly, hemp could change the world. We just have to pay attention to the soil between our toes, the land all around us, and have the courage to transition to a new agricultural system. If you're interested in learning more about the specifics of hemp concrete, then you're in luck. I wrote a little bonus section about hempcrete, but I didn't feel like it fit well with the rest of the video. So I've uploaded that section as an extended edition of this video on the streaming platform my creator friends and I built called Nebula. The bonus content replaces this ad because there aren't any ads on Nebula. And you'll not only see a lot of extended editions, exclusive content, and ad-free videos over on Nebula from me, but also from channels like Second Thought and Polymatter. Nebula allows viewers to support creators directly so they don't have to worry about the pesky YouTube algorithm. Nebula is awesome, but it's now made even better with our partnership with CuriosityStream. CuriosityStream is the go-to streaming platform for thousands of top-tier documentaries, like the drought episode of Fatal Forecast, which looks at how the climate crisis is making extreme droughts worse. And because CuriosityStream loves supporting educational creators, we worked out a deal where if you sign up with the link below, not only do you get access to CuriosityStream, but you'll also get Nebula for free. And this isn't a trial. You'll have Nebula as long as you're a CuriosityStream member. What's even better is that CuriosityStream is offering a special deal for my viewers, 26% off their annual plan. That's a little over $1 a month for both CuriosityStream and Nebula. By signing up, you'll not only directly support Our Changing Climate, but you'll also gain access to thousands of documentaries and exclusive videos from your favorite creators. So if you want to support both Our Changing Climate and hundreds of other educational content creators, go to curiositystream.com/OCC or click the link in the description and sign up for CuriosityStream and Nebula for just $14.79 per year. That's 26% off. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you've already signed up for CuriosityStream, you can also support me by becoming an Our Changing Climate patron. Just pledging $1 a month gives me the financial stability I need to keep making more videos like this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.